Yeah, it's kind of surprising that his lawyers are letting him speak. Having watched his two interviews, the word delusional kept coming into mind, right? That he's in a reality that's not real. A lot of narcissism, a lot of grandiosity. But the reality is, like Sam and his cohorts perpetuated a fraud. They used customer money to make bets that he poorly risk managed after he made them. Let's forget about the risk management. The problem was he took our money. And so he needs to get prosecuted. The authorities need to dig in and figure out exactly what happened. People will go to jail.
Mike Novogratz, the chief executive officer of Galaxy Digital, a crypto-focused financial services firm, is convinced that Sam Bankman-Fried, the former billionaire founder of FTX, deserves some jail time. In a recent interview with Bloomberg Markets, the American investor reacts to SBF's video feed appearance at the just-concluded New York Times Deal Book Summit. He explains that granting an interview in such a situation is distasteful, further proving his earlier assessment that SBF is delusional. According to Novogratz, the regulatory and prosecutorial processes involved in getting to the bottom of the collapse and SBF's role will be long and arduous. But he believes at the end of the process, the 30-year-old American entrepreneur will have to face some jail term. Novogratz adds that the process has started and regulators and prosecutors are already speaking with key industry players to unravel the causes of the collapse. In his interview, Novogratz also discusses the impact of the collapse on Galaxy Digital and why he and many others trusted SBF's phony persona enough to put money in the now bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange. Early last month, Novogratz revealed that Galaxy Digital had a $76.8 million exposure to FTX. He added that they were trying to withdraw $47.5 million from the exchange, but the FTX group filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection 2 days later. We will now take you to the Bloomberg interview with Mike Novogratz. Please watch the video to the end, subscribe to the channel, and give this video a thumbs up. Also, ensure you drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Thanks, and enjoy the video.
Sonali, there's $9 billion that seem to have been moved out of the exchange into his personal accounts. You don't need a whole lot more evidence than that. But I'm not a prosecutor, and he will be investigated. He will be prosecuted, and if the facts turn out the way I expect them to, he will spend time in jail. Is Sam a horrible guy? He's been kind. He's got a kind demeanor. I think he was delusional and detached from a reality, and him and his team did things that no bank should do, no exchange should do, and no person should do. Well, if you think about it, he had the perfect pedigree for this, right? He went to MIT. His parents were both lauded Stanford professors. He worked at Jane Street, which is one of the best, arbitrage high-frequency shops in the world. And so with those credentials, and then starting to make money as an arbitrageur, people bought in. And as one big VC credentializes them, and then the next, people do less work. I think, in a lot of ways, his Bermuda shorts and floppy hair, and I'm going to give all my money away, worked as a distraction to people really understanding. But fraud's hard to detect. When we looked at it, right, we were not an investor. We were a participant on his exchange. We did normal due diligence. They showed us, contracts. Their contract was our coins are our coins, and we have title to them, and they're not supposed to be able to use them to fund his family office. And listen, you wish there was more transparency. Now we're moving with most exchanges to proof of reserves. Binance is leading that charge, but almost all the exchanges offshore and onshore will soon go to proof of reserves. So you actually can use on-chain analytics to prove that centralized companies actually have the money they say they did. I don't think humans are coded to think people will lie to their face like sociopaths. And it's why we have these things show up, from Elizabeth Holmes to Sam Bankman-Fried to Bernie Madoff to the guy at Archipelagos. We've taken our exchange balances down as a precaution. We've gone through each exchange, talked to the guys that run them, look at the auditing, look at proof of reserves, and we make our best bet, right? When you were putting money on an exchange, you never expected it to be all at risk, right? Exchanges put a lot of your coins in cold storage, and then the rest was left on exchange. So you really thought you only had risk of hacking. Very few people thought risk of somebody stealing your money. And that's a new risk that people are going to have to look at a lot closer. Listen, I would say stay tuned. We are going to lean into the opportunity set that we see. There are a lot of cheap assets right now. There'll be a lot of distressed assets. We're going to build for where we think the puck will be in 2 years. I can't guarantee that the same amount of people we have in Business X will be in Business X in 3 months' time. I think we'll shift a lot of assets around the board. But I would bet you that in 3 months' time, we have more employees then than we do now, mostly because we're looking at some small acquisitions.
You made this comment.
This is a setback for crypto, but there's an inevitability that digital assets are going to be part of our future, and we're going to make that bet.
Whether SBF will face a jail term or not remains to be seen. For now, he is walking free and granting interviews. Many cryptocurrency investors have pointed out that there is a conscious and concerted effort from the media to whitewash his crimes. Despite gambling away over $10 billion of client funds, several media agencies seem to be only speaking about his political donations and supposed philanthropic activities. Let's get back to Novograd's interview as he discusses moves regulators are making and his updated Bitcoin price prediction.
Yeah, we can't talk specific about our relationship with the regulators, but I would say broadly, yes. I think, look, regulators they have some egg on their face in that Sam was very far along at pitching to be the cash Bitcoin market here in the U.S., both with SEC and CFTC, and so he was, deep in conversation, and so they're trying to figure out how in the heck did that happen. Mm-hmm. Naturally, they're reaching out to industry players to understand the links. And so I do think people will wonder, why is the guy not in handcuffs if he did something wrong? White collar crime takes a long time to prosecute. And you're going to see this happen more slowly than most people want.
You said Bitcoin could hit 500,000 in 5 years. 1 year is gone, and it's at 16,000. It'll take a lot to get there. So do you still believe that that's possible?
Not in 5 years, and I'll tell you why. The biggest change that happened, and the reason Bitcoin went from 69,000 down to the 20,000s, is Jay Powell decided to find his central banking, superpowers and start bashing inflation over the head with a series of rate hikes that have taken rates from 0 to 4+%. Like, it's pretty much that simple. It's why all frothy assets, growth assets that were quote inflation hedges went down, because we are in the process of beating inflation over the head. Yeah. I don't think long-term it's sustainable, given the political climate, that our governments are going to spend what they have. They're going to spend more than they have, like they always do. And in that case, you're going to see this inflation and the debasement of currency harder and harder to control. But right now, the Fed's in control, and they're doing a darn good job. And that's the main reason why crypto went down. Listen, the rest of this malarkey that we've had between Three Arrows and BlockFi and Celsius and all these companies that were either poorly run or fraudulently run certainly is hurting the overall confidence in crypto. Right. But this too shall pass. They will be brushed off into the dustbin of history. Yeah. And the industry itself is going to emerge having learned lessons stronger, and you're going to see the price take back off.
Unlike Mike Novogratz, Shark Tank star Kevin O'Leary and billionaire hedge fund manager Bill Ackman believe SBF's comments during the Deal Book Summit interview. Following the Wednesday interview, Ackman tweeted, "Call me crazy, but I think SBF is telling the truth." Shortly afterwards, O'Leary quoted Ackman's tweet stating, "I lost millions as an investor in FTX and got sandblasted as a paid spokesperson for the firm, but after listening to that interview, I'm in the Bill Ackman camp about the kid." What do you think about Mike Novogratz's interview and the tweets from O'Leary and Ackman? Please drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Also, be sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.